All right, what's up, guys? Lunch Break Lifter back with another lifting vlog. This is upper workout B, bit of a shorter one today. I was having some camera trouble, so didn't get as much footage from the workout, but still got a good amount. Don't have a set topic today, just gonna kind of ramble and see where we end up. So upper B starts with dumbbell bench. So here I am, repping the 80s, double progression here, trying to get 4 sets of 10. And one thing that I'll point out here is I've been at these 80s now. I think it's been about 6 weeks of using the same weight, and this has really been an exercise in staying patient. With double progression, you stay at the weight until you can get the top end of the rep range. So I've been quite literally adding about a rep per week here. So I think on the first 2 sets I got 10, and then the next set I got 8, and then after that it was either 7 or 6. And it's been a grind, every week I'm shooting to quite literally add 1 rep to one of those second 2 sets. And so far I haven't hit a true stall yet, but it is an exercise in being patient, because it's been tempting to just bump the weight up and keep going, but when you're 35 and have a young kid like I do and have a pretty demanding career, recovery is limited, and it is a reminder to be patient and appreciate the gains as they come. And adding a rep it doesn't seem like much week to week, but if you look back 6 weeks ago, I did 4 sets of these with the 80s at 6 reps, and now 10, 10, 7 or 8, and then 6. I'm not doing the math in my head right now, but it's a lot of extra workload across 4 sets for the muscles involved, right? And this is a long game, lifting weights, gaining muscle. So it's just an important reminder here not to rush things, because stalling, regressing is a massive demotivator. And it's important to just understand that eventually gains do start to plateau, and you're not going to be adding weight all the time. Kind of another situation here with these body weight pull-ups. I go for 4 sets of 12. 4 sets of 12 of pull-ups is a lot if you're not kind of exclusively a calisthenics dude. A lot of pure calisthenics people could do that pretty easily, but I'm not a pure calisthenics dude. So pull-ups are a great exercise, but 4 sets of 12 for the average gym goer that's a good amount before adding weight. I do have, on my other upper day, I do lower rep, heavy weighted neutral grip chin-ups, but anyway, this has been another thing where it's just a fight to add a rep week to week. In fact, this week, I actually technically across the 4 sets had fewer reps, but I was able to get my first set of 12 in a row that you just saw there. I think the week before I did 10, 10, 7, 7, and I think today I got 12, 7, 7, 6 or something like that. So lost 3 reps or something like that. But I kind of look at that as a win, because it was my first time on that first set being able to crank out 12 pull-ups, which is a solid. 12 pull-ups, and you can see I do a full dead hang, chin well above the bar, almost touching it to my chest. That's an accomplishment. That's solid. If you can do that, you are strong. You have a strong upper body. So again, just trying to fight for the reps there. This is kind of leading me into another topic too I could talk about briefly, which is I've always benefited from focusing on performance instead of how I look. And I think a lot of this just comes down to a personality thing, but I've found that focusing on my performance and not obsessing over aesthetics, as the kids call it, or how you look, I just find it to be a much healthier mindset for me personally. I think it's healthier to focus on how you're performing, how you're moving, and kind of your general health, as opposed to how you look in the mirror. I just find I become way too neurotic about that. And then I find myself getting really weird about food. And, to improve how you look, most of the time the goal is to be adding muscle to your frame. And to do that, it is beneficial to get stronger. You need to get stronger. And I find it, especially if you're a beginner, you should really just be focusing on getting stronger and not overdoing the bulk. I have another video about that, but focus on gaining muscle and filling out a little bit. And then you can cut weight later if you really feel like you need to. You don't need to get fat, but I wouldn't worry so much about being crazy ripped, because the reality is if you get crazy ripped and you don't have muscle, you are going to be significantly lighter than you think. If you cut down so that you have, low double digit body fat, low double digit body fat. I don't know if single digit is realistic for anybody who's not going to actually go compete in bodybuilding, but if you do that and you don't have muscle built yet, you are going to look really skinny. So build muscle first would be my suggestion, and then worry about that later. If you want to cut down and lose some fat so the muscles show a bit more, go for it. But build the base first. All right, guys, peace out, bye.